Hello and welcome back, friends, family, and frenemies. We are out of the warp bubble, successfully locked in geosynchronous orbit around our latest celestial object, and reactor is, as always, locked in recharge mode. It's time to stream. Uh, it's like got really crazy, like literally the day after on Friday. Oh my gosh, CCP went and did some pretty insane things. They announced something pretty big, and we're going to be talking about that. But first, we'll go over. Sorry, I'm cleaning up a few things. My cat was on my desk, so space cat fur tends to shed more than regular cat fur. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but and I swear to you, I think my cat found a Fedo. I'm pretty sure that thing's running around here too somewhere. I could be wrong. All right, that's fine, Yelga. Good to see you, by the way. We can always get into it, so like, it's not a big deal. Last week we did some deep dives into interstation trading, how to set up the app on your phone for easiest, just for easiest reoccurring, just to do the thing easier. And I didn't go over the ship that I used because I went over that in a stream before, but I did go over it. But I did go over like all the big details for this one, so that way people can, hopefully you guys can kind of learn a little bit more about how that works. Also, last time, let me actually put this down. That might make things a little easier for everyone. Also, last time we ended doing some wormhole jumping. I don't believe we got a whole lot. I think we got like 7 mil. Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot. We'll be cleaning that up, and then we'll be going from there. Probably back to some more wormhole jumping. I've got some ideas for the near future. We need some Isk for that, so Isking up today is really the top priority. So it's going to be pretty chill, pretty calm, pretty relaxing, especially if the server pulse stays as low as it has. This is a lot lower than it was last Thursday, and I'm pretty sure CCP's announcement has a little bit to do with that. So we are just kind of going to go from there. And as Yelga has said, there's a promise of some BNN goodness from the Brave News Network print edition. It's too bad it didn't quite make it in time for me to update my ticker for it, but that's all right. I mean, we'll get there next time. Actually, maybe I'll be able to include it for Thursday stuff, so that'll be a lot of fun. I love all that cool newsy vibe that I've been able to kind of coalesce in here. Pretty good stuff for me, or at least as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what you all think, but because nobody's leaving me feedback or content. I thrive on content, guys. Interaction and content, please give me. Okay. Anyway, we'll get on over to the next part and go from there. Oh, I actually forgot one thing, and I greatly apologize. I was telling myself there was something that I forgot throughout the entire time of setting everything up, and I am so sorry. Let's get her going. There. There we go. That's a little better for us. I wondered why it was so quiet. It's been a strange day for me. It's been a strange weekend. Well, stranger than usual. I had a Oh yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Yelga. Let me grab that. I recently had a Zoom meeting, so I'll go ahead and mention that here. You know, big shout out to my father. Yeah, he's a big shout out to my father, who was much more of an amazing person than I thought during his time here on Earth with us. But yeah, so I had a Zoom meeting memorializing him, or in memory of him, with some of his friends and colleagues. And so I apologize if I'm not quite fully in the headspace. You know, it's just kind of a closeout to some things that have been going on in real life in the past month. A bit of fourth wall breaking there, I know. I'm sorry. I do go back to Earth every once in a while, you know. I don't always stay in the far reaches of the Milky Way galaxy. Every once in a while, Misa drags me back to planet Earth, which is unfortunate because I really like it out here in space. But that's all right. You know, I mean, she can't come with me. You know, she doesn't do good in 0 G's. What do you expect? Anyway, let's get on over to the fun. Let's get on over to the enjoyment. Let me also separate these out properly. Actually, I'm gonna start with the Brave News stuff. All right, let's get on over, and we'll boop. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me just shuffle these just a tiny bit more. There we go. All right, so Brave News Network print edition number 37. This one's for April 16th, 2022. Proudly sponsored by Biscuit Industries. Now this is the first of two, as Yelga has promised. We'll get to the other one later on when it's available. We'll probably make a quick pit stop to make sure we get it. So definitely stay tuned for that, and probably be up in a couple hours, I imagine, or whatever, you know, however long it takes them. Hopefully, you know, don't rush it, Yelga. I mean, we've got plenty of time. No rush, no pressure. Let's see here. So the 16th would have been a full week ago. Content Central. Chaotic capital clash in GTAC M. Pureblind was witness to a large capital brawl this week in GTAC M418 or I8, which ended with nearly 100 billion Isk lost across 3 sides. The brawl started humbly with a small brave fleet gate camping the Torinos Gate, which is the choke point for ships flowing through into Pureblind. Shortly afterwards, however, a Thunderchild was dropped onto Brave's fleet, which managed to kill a Maelstrom. Spurred on by this loss, a Moros was dropped to dispatch the Thunderchild. Although successful in killing the battleship, the Moros soon found itself tackled in GTAC M4I8. Seeing the opportunity for a free dread kill, a Volta supercarrier jumped into the system, while Snuffed Out and Fraternity pinged their own dreadnought fleet. Seeing the escalations, Brave also escalated, pinging subcapital and capital ships. From then on, the grid in GTAC M devolved into chaos. The Fax landed on grid to rep the Moros, but as it had been fitted with the wrong rigs, it quickly died. Dredges exchanged volleys of fire, and the occasional blinding flash of an exploding capital ship lit up the battlefield. Somewhere within the mayhem, a Raiju escaped by the skin of its teeth as a subcapital brawl emerged around it. Oh, it's all good, Yelga. I got it. I can kind of post speak it or whatever. By the time the fight had ended, 14 mighty capital ships had been reduced to smoldering wrecks, and Brave solidified Pureblind's position as #1 location for fights and brawls within New Eden. That's because, as we said in lobby, Brave Collective brings the party bus. That's right, we are the party bus, folks. If you want to be the party bus, not in the party bus, but the party bus, join Brave Collective. www.bravecollective.com. Boom, there you go. Ah, shameless plug. I'm sorry. I had to. It was too good to pass up. But anyway. This one goes into the Siege Green update. We did actually talk about this last week. Siege Green update: cheaper ships, squishier structures. CCP announced a change to structures and ship production, which is expected to go live on Tranquility within a week. The update, called Siege Green, and actually I believe these did already go up, but there were no patch notes, so, or at least not over the weekend. So. But yeah, anyways, contains significant changes to upwell structure mechanics, as well as decreased material prices to faction, Triglavian, Edencom, and capital ships. Starting with structures, all structures have had their shield damage caps removed, meaning that upwell structure shields can now be bashed in just minutes or seconds using capital ships. In addition to this, medium structures have had their hull timers removed, giving them only one timer. Finally, structure weapons have been nerfed, making it easier to attack without resistance from structure guns, bombs, and PDSs. Moving on to industry, many of the changes made last year have been partially rolled back. New capital ship component requirements have been reduced, and the burden of producing components for faction ships have also been lifted, allowing prices to fall by around 40%. The changes are a good step in the right direction for EVE, but we can only guess what the future holds for industry and structure. And Jitta's Raiju loss reimbursement was reversed. For those of you that actually were following that story, a Raiju was lost, and then it was reimbursed, and then CCP destroyed it. So there you go. That's kind of the short and sweet of it. This week, a Raiju was lost in Jitta after being ganked by Volta and Von Hole. Although interesting, it is now the third Raiju to be lost and would usually not be newsworthy. However, after the loss, the Raiju's pilot Sick Room. Yeah, we'll go with that. Submitted a frivolous ship replacement request to CCP, apparently by accident. The request was granted, and the 150 billion Isk AT ship was resurrected and returned to its owner. After this news found its way to Reddit, an understandably outraged community petitioned to CCP to have the ship re-killed, and this was granted. In a post by CCP Dopamine, it was stated that the SRP request was not valid, and the Raiju has been destroyed for good. If you want to support the Brave News Network print edition, DM Yelgub Exila, our very own Reverse Alex Bagley, on Slack to advertise in BNN print, or just to throw him memes or anything else. I'm sure he'd love the content. For videos and more, visit the BNN's YouTube channel run by Isaac Cregan. And that's it for last week's BNN. There we go. Last week's BNN article. There is one other thing I wanted to pull up. It's not going to be much. That way we've got that up. Just so we can kind of take a peek at the sob stuff here in a minute. Now before I get too far into this one, I'm going to say this is a lot of CCP drama. Like, this is hardcore drama, CCP. It was all over the Reddit. It was all over the forums. It was all over Twitter. It was all over probably every social media out there, but those are the only ones that I know of off the top of my head that I saw anything on. It's a lot to digest. It's a lot to go through. There are so many moving parts when you raise prices on a product, and then you're talking about raising prices on something like this. As many of you know, and those of you that are new bros or alphas that don't really know, let me let you know. EVE is a sandbox MMO. And that means that, as I've said in the past, Jason members who ended some of the claims. Yeah, I did actually see that, Yelga. I was just reading that about an hour ago. I didn't want to report it too much here. I try to stay away from Reddit news on stream, but sometimes it's just super relevant. You just can't get away from it. It's just, but yeah, I read it. Oh my gosh. At least I skimmed half of it and read the other half. It's, I've seen posts like that before in my time, so I'm not surprised to see it pop up again, especially with something as big as this. We can get into some of that kind of stuff here in a little bit. As it goes, Eve is a sandbox MMO. So what that means is that just about everything is determined by the players. That's why we have things like the monthly economic report, which tells us this huge list of things that go on in the game. We have the CSM, the Council of Stellar Management, which have a direct involvement in or supposedly a direct involvement, I should say, in just the general upbringing and continuance of this game. This game's lasted for 19 years. They've had the fan fests, which release all sorts of content and information and updates and all that good stuff. When I say this thing is run by the players, I mean literally, aside from things that have to be seeded into the game in order for the game to function as a sandbox. You know, I mean, you can't have a sandbox without sand, right? That's kind of how that goes. Aside from that, everything is done by the players, and I'm talking manufacturing, shipbuilding, mining. You know, you got your ratting, your Isk making, all your faucets, all your sinks. A lot of that is run by the players, like most of it. Think about all the different ways you get Isk. You receive Isk, you make Isk, you manufacture Isk. You know, you mine your spod, you mine your Veldspar, you take that, you refine it into the minerals you need, the Zydrine, Mercoxit, Tritanium. You know, then you use that to build the blueprints from the ships to make Punishers, Vexers, Rifters, just to name a few. And then modules, Afterburners, micro warp drives, guns, ammunition, you know, things like that. And then you've got like your ratting. You take those ships out and you go and you rat in like the green sites, the green combat sites. You make bounties off of that, buy Concord, which is an Isk injection, or you go out and you do abyssal sites and you do things there, you know, like the red loot that gets sold directly to stations. You do things like, you know, the blue loot from the sleeper sites and wormholes, you know. And then there's even other activities beyond that you do, like wormhole mapping for Isk or for free, contract brokering, moving ships. You know, all these things are just, it's all player driven. And then when CCP took that model and they added in Plex, and they put a monetary value on Isk in that particular way, you know, they said, hey, this module costs this much Isk, which costs this much of a Plex, and which means it costs this much real world money, loosely at least. So here you have that, and we already know that 500 Plex equals 1 month of Eve time. And now they're going to be doing this, which is going to raise the cost of everything else. Like the in-game value may not change too much, but the real world value of these items will change. And that could in turn affect the in-game value as well. So it's a huge multifaceted thing that I don't know that perhaps maybe on the surface it doesn't, you know, obviously it doesn't matter on the surface, but deeper in is where it's really going to matter. And there's more to it, but I'll read like on a personal level on my end, and then of course for you as the gamer, there's a bit more of a personal annotation to all of this, which I'll get into after I actually go through the article here in a minute. But I wanted to kind of set that precedent, set that perspective of how much is actually garnered and done in this MMO, in this sandbox, by setting these prices the way they have. And then now they're changing them, and what kind of an impact you can expect to see that being for the game as a whole. Again, this isn't like an individual player type of thing. This is, unless you're like a huge money tycoon or an Isk tycoon, and if you are, you're probably not watching a guy who plays with alpha characters. You're probably watching somebody who actually does like day trading in Jitta or something like that. I mean, let's be real here. But at any rate, we'll get into this a little bit more, and then we'll go into some other stuff surrounding it overall. So Plex and Omega prices are getting an update. They're getting a change. Respected Capsuleers, since EVE Online's original launch back in 2003, together EVE's developers and community have led the charge in evolving what sandbox MMOs can be. The past 19 years have seen amazing events that have brought us closer together, delivered vast expectations, and game-changing feature enhancements. Seen careful rebalancing to bring the best quality of experience, and welcomed technological updates that keep New Eden on the cutting edge. All in service of maintaining EVE's status as the world's best MMO. The tradition of continuous improvements to EVE is set to continue. Okay. On the road to FanFest and beyond, with plans to make New Eden and its community mightier than ever as EVE moves closer to its third decade, adding even more value to your Omega subscription. To continue investing in EVE Online's evolution and growth, and to realize our mission of EVE forever, we are updating the price of all existing Omega and Plex. This adjustment reflects global trends impacting general production costs and accounts for years of inflation, amending the 1-month USD subscription rate for the first time since 2004. These adjustments will have an impact on other currencies. Starting 17th of May, the new prices will be as follows. Your Omega, new Omega tiers at 2 months and 24 months will be introduced. And they show right here how this all breaks down. There we go. That way you guys can kind of really get a good view of it. Your 1 month, you know, is $19.99 USD. I don't know what that translates to in other currencies. I know it's a little higher in some. The euros, I think, are a little bit more. I do know that Canadian dollar CAD is higher as well. I think they're like $3 or $4 higher, I want to say. Just as kind of an example. So you're going to get affected, and of course exchange rates are going to get affected, and there's a lot of real world monikers surrounding paying for something like this that's going to get that's going to make these prices go higher anyways for everybody. See if I can bring this back down. There we go. Better. Plex. The Plex tiers have been entirely restructured, offering several more options from 50 Plex to 20,000 Plex. So that's not too bad, the fact that they did that. But I believe Plex prices did rise some. Don't quote me on that, because I actually don't really... I haven't followed Plex too high or too much. I've never purchased Plex, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure if these prices are more or about the same or what. Space Cat's watching Space Thing. They did rise quite a bit. Okay, that's what I was worried about. I thought that maybe they did. And if that's the case, then that means that Plex is going to have a real impact. Like the price of things in game is going to have a real impact by all this. I do honestly feel like that's true. There's just going to be a lot. 3.2 mil each. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Rose from 15 to 20. Yep. The new prices on Omega include all upcoming content releases for the game and have been structured to offer substantial savings when you purchase larger amounts of Plex and Omega time. Players benefit from even bigger monthly savings between lower and upper Omega time tiers and more Plex options to choose from, right down to the economical 50 Plex offering. We're committed to bringing you the absolute best version of Eve and a compelling future for New Eden. We can't wait to meet up with you in person and discuss this in detail at FanFest in just a few weeks. I'm gonna give a shout out to CCP for not plugging new skins and marketing things at the bottom of this one, because everything else we've read actually has some kind of thing like that. So I'm very glad that CCP did not try to put in some kind of marketing crap when they threw this in, if you will. But to give you an idea, like in order to reach close to the old 15, $14.99, $15, you have to go somewhere between the 3 and the 6 month plan. But that means you're spending like the 6 month right here gets you a little bit lower, but you're still spending $86.95 up front in order to get that old price. I'm gonna reiterate something that I've said in my life a lot. If something costs money, it's not and it says savings on it. If you spend money on that, it's not a savings. You're not saving money because you're spending money on that thing. This is a clear example of that. I might be able to get the $14.49 USD by spending $86.95 for the 6 month period all at once, but that's not saving me money. That's spending that money. It doesn't matter. You still lost the money. I mean, yeah, you might be saving over the long term if you think of it in that particular sense. But if you don't have the money to spend, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't do you any good to have that kind of an option. As far as like me personally goes, as you guys know, this stream specifically is tailored towards the new bro, towards the alpha, towards what kind of fun per hour we can find within the confines of the lower SP ranks, of the subcap ranks. Because in all honesty, that I've played there for many years. Never had a capital ship, never flown any caps. I've done some Sino stuff, but not a whole lot. And I just find the most enjoyment out of that kind of thing. That's where my playstyle is at. So the fact that they want to charge for an Omega, they want to charge more for an Omega, doesn't matter as far as this stream particularly goes, but at some point in the future, which I actually have Omega on the account that I use, both for stream and for my own enjoyment. I've got it until the end of June. So between now and then, depending upon where things go, depending upon how FanFest has shaked out, we may have to look into alternative content for the stream outside of EVE Online. Still, of course, space related. So if any of you have any thoughts, what you'd like to see, what you'd like to explore, the unusual, the unknown, the road less traveled, if you will, I'm all ears on that one. Because no matter what happens, space games are definitely the thing. That being said, like I said, there's still tons of alpha content. There's still tons of new bro content. You don't have to put money into this game to have fun, and that's still around. That's still solidly around what we do here. in what we show. For me personally, it definitely means that Omega's not happening very often throughout the year anymore, which is, you know, definitely sad face time. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a business. It is CCP's right to choose and determine how they want to do their business, even if perhaps maybe they're not making the best choices. And to be fair, maybe this is a bit of give and take. Maybe this is just one of those things where they'll they kind of just mismanaged the placement of their information. So on one hand, kudos to them for giving us a 30-day notice for raising prices. You know, it is their business. They're allowed to set their prices and whatever they feel is right, and I'm glad that they gave us a 30-day notice at least, so we could make our own informed decisions for our lives and for our game time. While I don't necessarily personally agree with the change, that's not gonna stop me from that's not gonna necessarily, I guess you should say, make me devolve into hate mails at 3,500 words per minute towards them. And on that note, things have cooled down quite a bit on like Reddit and Twitter and such. But please do remember your community mods and your community managers at CCP. They don't have any control over that, so please try to be kind to them as best you can. I know it's frustrating, but they're not the ones who get to write this narrative. This is somebody much higher than them. So just so you're aware, give them the space to breathe. It's not the mod's fault. And that's just how it's got. That's how it goes. Unfortunately, the community mods, the community managers are just there, kind of caught in the middle. Unfortunately, so I feel bad for the ISD squad and some of the CSM that are out there helping to do, you know, put out fires and crowd control, and the CCP community managers that are out there trying to help with that as well, because I can imagine that's difficult. That's really difficult work. All the best to them on that one. There's a lot of people out there that are a lot less understanding about this whole thing. So anyways, let's get on to the next part of this, which is the daily Sov map stuff. As I said, on Monday, I wanted to make this a weekly thing, and we ended up going over it again on Thursday, just because there wasn't a whole lot to go over. So it was kind of good as kind of a general thing. I just may end up doing this every stream. I don't know. It can change so frequently. So who knows, right? So here we've got Sov lost, and this was 425. So that was, yep, that's today. Star Trails Alliance lost and Red Alliance gained. Russian Legion of Honor lost and Red Alliance gained. Spaceship Family also gained in Faith of Ballista. So let's see here. That would put them. Here's Red. Here's Spaceship Family. Alliance. Triumvirate. Huh, we're coming back. Federation of Respect, Honor. Passion Alliance are right there. Okay. So there's those guys. There's the Star Trails. And there's Red. That must have been what they, yeah, that's what they recently took. And Horde's got some space right down here. Interesting. So yeah, there's definitely some action going on down here. Always good to see a few scuffles. Looks like Goonswarm's given up spots. which only makes sense given how things are shaken up with the Bastion. Pandemic for slice and test and C dot. I'm really surprised they just threw test into outer passage. That's still baffled. I don't know. All right, so there's that. The coalition map doesn't change a whole lot as a result. Fire still owns their parts. They did obviously get a little bit more. Fire gained a little bit. Neutral states gained a little bit. So as you can see right down here, neutral states gained this little spot right here. Fire gained over here. So there's definitely bits of conflict, which the coalitions they're gonna kind of flip back and forth on that one. The only other big one is gonna be the faction warfare one, which there were no system changes today. It doesn't mean they didn't change recently. Amara is still being hardcore squelched. And Dolente kind of looks like they're still gaining on Caldari. So take that for what you will. And that pretty much does it, unless you guys wanted to look at the Serenity influence map, which it's again, that's not our server. So that pretty much does it for the news and for all the random things that come through there until the next Brave News Network gets posted. We won't know a whole lot about any of that until that comes. So for now, we'll go ahead and switch over. Boop. There we go. All right. And we will get into some game time. All right. First things first, server pulse. We got 16.2K accounts logged in. Whether or not that's actual players. The dev said EU's largest update. Yeah, I can only imagine what that largest update is to Yelga, because like I don't know. It's not that I don't have a lot of faith in them, it's that I haven't. Their last largest update was all the Triglavian stuff. And even when it was over, they didn't add in everything that they should have. They didn't flesh it out. They didn't bring it up to a proper production polish. Walking in Stations 2.0, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's true. If it's Walking in Stations 2.0, I mean, that'd be pretty impressive. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see them, like, integrate Walking in Stations. And then I'd like to see them integrate, like, Dust 514 directly into client. Let us have some FPS, station action, and planet-bound, Dust 514. That would be really cool. That might actually be worth the $20 a month. But they really would have to, like, haul it out. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. We'll have to wait and see. And if they can make it all alpha accessible in some way, even better. Because last time, I believe Dust 514 wasn't really new bro friendly or alpha friendly. I think it was just Nubro at the time. I don't think there was actually alpha accounts back then. I could be wrong. All right, so let's see if we can get some of this stuff kind of sorted out. Excuse me. We got a body. Here we go. I prefer to sell mine directly. Let's just go to not there. What are we looking for? We're looking for any kind of Concord. This one. There we go. Let's go there. Because that's what we really need to do. We really need to Isk up right now. Another thing, like I said, this Isk-ing up thing is actually a prelude to something bigger. We're going to be looking into additional wormhole content as an alpha or as a new bro player, or at the very least as someone who's not quite even 10 million skill points in yet. There's a lot of use in a 10 million SP character. We're gonna start trying to get a hold of things that will let us increase our our SP quicker, so we can try to get content. We've only got about another 60 days, I think. Yeah, about roughly 60 days ish before the Omega runs out here. So I wish it would give me a countdown timer. That would be really cool. That would be really useful if they would just give me a countdown timer. But at any rate, so we're gonna look into utilizing those skill injectors if at all possible. It's gonna be a bit Isk intensive, but once we get into wormhole life a little bit more, then we'll have that option a bit more. Also, I'll probably have to change my UI back because the one that was given to me is actually really good, especially if I'm roaming around K-space, but I'm just not comfortable with using it long-term in wormholes. So that's going to be something that I'll have to just kind of readjust. I'll go back to the ZS overview and do that. So that way we can get into that. All right. So let's see how close we are to Jeddah. About 12 jumps. 12 jumps if I want to go. Okay, well, it's about the same. Good. Good deal. Is there anything here? kind of wish there was a way to sort. I didn't really think that through when I added that in like last time. I should have done a better job with that. And now's probably a good time though to show you guys. And I did actually mention this a little while back. You know, you've got your primary and your secondary attributes for all your skill sets. So like in our case, Spaceship Command actually takes up a great deal of stuff. Perception and willpower is going to be the main thing there. Same with gunnery and missiles, perception and willpower, armor, intelligence, memory, shields, intelligence, memory. So, and then drones, memory, perception. So it's going to be kind of all over the place, in all honesty. Let's see here. Once we dock up, we'll go ahead and actually we'll go through that just a tiny bit. Maybe try to clean that up just a smidge, at least to get us through the next week or two, just so we know kind of what we're at, because we can remap our skills. Let's see, where is it? I got 2 remaps available, so might as well remap to the ship skills and the ship and gunnery skills first. That way they're out of the way, and then we can focus on some of the other stuff later on in a few weeks, just to kind of help that along. Hey Vetro, how's it going? Oh, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
How's your corp doing? All right, let's see where we're at here. Since I got the limited ocular filter. So we're gonna do perception, willpower. So in this case, we'll do a remap. We'll pull everything out of memory, intelligence, and charisma, and we will jack up perception and willpower. We'll actually try to make them even, so that way they get the most points. And we hit save changes, and that takes care of that. And now, as you can see, things have changed. We're down to 185 days as opposed to 195. So we've actually shaved off 10 days, which is pretty nice. Let me put into stasis so we can work towards the op. Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. OPSEC is the thing of Eve. Like, that's just how it goes, right? But good. I'm glad to hear that it's going good. I mean, change is good at least. Like, so. Oh yeah, here. Missile bombardment even went down from 10 hours to 8 hours, so good deal. Let's pull down the shield stuff. Let's bring up a Mar destroyer. Let's bring up rockets. Let's bring up a Mar cruiser. Let's bring up light missiles. Oh, that's the rigging skill. What is rigging? Intelligence, memory. Okay. There's cruise missiles. Let's see how far we can bring this up. All the way. Perfect. I like it. 2. Get them in. Yeah, I know. I need to get implants. I need to get me a training clone and drop them into a station somewhere. And just try to ask Spoopy if they'll let me hide my training clone there. Just walking the staging on stream. They'd love me forever. But yes, Vetro is right. Implants are a huge thing. I actually don't know. Where's my neural enhancement? I can do bio. Okay, so I've got cybernetics at 3. So I could do highs and lows and mids. Okay, so I should be able to actually do just about anything because I think they're all tech level 1. Actually, there's a really easy way because I've got the ocular filter. Yeah, so like I could do what was it? Advanced? Oh no, advanced is +6. Basic. It's the +3s you want. Yeah, here we go. Basic. So, yeah. Actually, that's a really good point though. Okay, you're on. When I call for it, that's what we'll do. We'll we'll get it shipped. I can't wait. Oh man. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I know what I was doing. Let's do it. And we'll go ahead and sell these. Get us a few isks. Immediate. Perfect. Oh, actually, that's a good point. Let's see if anything from a market order is sold. Do we have anything left? Just those last couple things. Okay. Still getting this electric plants. Let's do. How close are we to Ren's? 10 jumps away. I like that a little bit better. Let's just set this up there. We'll head out.
Warp drive active.
That stuff may not hurt. Oh. Did you have to repackage your Maelstrom?
Warp drive active.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that's fair. It's rough. It's the bad thing about Eve is that, you know, when you're low on cash, when you're low on ISK, you gotta bite the bullet and sell some things that you obviously otherwise wouldn't try to get rid of. But I get it.
Warp drive.
I totally get it. That's kind of the interesting thing about it, because like it tells you your net worth, right? Like in your character screen, so you know you get a rough estimate based on all your assets. Oh yeah. Did you Maelstrom where we're going. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Might as well sell it, make some Isk. Or, yeah, I mean, because you could sell it and make the Isk and then maybe rebuild it or rebuy it later. To the Shadow Realm. Ah, yeah. To the Shadow Realm. Dock. Are you doing any +1 scouting through Udama? All right. Guess we'll find out later.
Active.
To be continued. Why? I love puns. Work out so well sometimes. Jump through. Oh yeah. 6 war. Oh my gosh.
Warp drive active.
That reminds me, there was something just recently happened to the high sec gate camper. We were just talking about it in the lobby chat in Brave. Some guy threw away another AT ship doing a gate camp. Let me see if I can find it. I think I forgot to.
Active.
I think I closed prematurely. Just talk. I'm trying to find it. I'm pretty sure I just saw something about it.
Warp drive.
Well, I can't find it now, but there was some kind of a crazy good opportunity. They couldn't pass it up, and the only thing they had at the time was an AT ship, and they used that, and they got it concorded. So rip AT ship. I think it was another Raiju, actually. I bet I could just look at Z kill. Let's see.
Warp drive active.
No. What that kill? I need lost. Yeah, it was in perimeter. Does it just recently happen? Okay. No, they were killing it in high sec and they got concorded. And no matter what, like they lost, it was lost, but welcome back, Petro. Yeah, okay. So the Raiju was lost in high sec by high sec gankers. You just poured a lot of stuff in on it. Okay, that's what happened. Talk about your insane kills. Guess I can't blame them. It was awesome. I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it, as long as you're having fun. All those worms, all those abyssals gone. That hurts. Let's see if I can find where to sell things at. Excuse me. Just something.
Warp drive active.
My Iteron cargo. Ugh. Oh, that's okay. That makes sense.
Docking permission requested.
So they hit you hard while you were flying around in an 85. Well, you know, to be fair, I mean, it's Eve. It's everything's hit or miss in Eve. I mean, like you can't honestly predict it. I've heard of stranger things happening. Oh man, that's still rough though. I'm sorry you lost it. All right, let's see what we can find where our sales go. If we can get close to the 7 million number, I'll be happy. Yeah, I'll take that. Just want to offload it anyway. That's true. No one does expect it, but I'm telling you, those high sec gankers, they're good at what they do. Speaking of good, we are close to low sec from here, but I don't believe we want to go through that way. I don't know. I could be persuaded. Go through Amamake. I'm not too thrilled about going through Amamake. There? Maybe. You're in the middle to gank it. Oh, wow. See, I mean, but if that's the case, if they lost 300 mil just to get 180 mil profit, they're still at a loss. So they should not have tried that. I'm not even sure why they would have gone for that. This might be okay. I really like just that, but going through. Ramona, Hmm. Just go that way. Ooh, that's actually. Oh no, that's going back. Oh, that's Paul. Set Mountain Wrens. We could go there and just kind of hop around this area. Yeah, exactly. They should. They probably hit it thinking that maybe perhaps they could drop more of them, but it was clearly not in the card. About 9 jumps out. They go there. Worry about that. I don't. Actually, that's not bad. Yeah, we're gonna stay around here for a while. Let's do. Yeah, I think I'll poke that. It looks like it's a little bit out of the way, but that's all right. Okay, so a little bit of context from what I picked up here, guys. Kind of as previously, we've had more success in going through low sec, scanning down a wormhole and popping in and poking around that way than in the past. Just going through all of high sec. While there are still sites in high sec, it's a lot safer. Most people are just passing through low sec. They're not actually trying to go directly into wormholes in low sec. So we should, in theory, be a little bit safer. And even if we're not, again, this is only a 2 mil Isk ship. We've already offloaded the 6 or 7 mil that we've made. So we've already paid for the ship 7 times over in this particular run. And we've got it paid off 92 million times over at this point in time. So it's not like it's going to be a huge loss if we lose it. Although I would have liked to upgrade to the Sister's core probes, but that's okay. Another thing I need to do.
Warp drive active.
Path back up. Okay. I'll be on the lookout. I'll start spamming D-scan, keeping an eye out for you, Vetro.
Warp drive active.
We're all. Can't get that to align.
Warp drive active.
Can't afford it. Weak thing that we drop one on a Mac and on I second. All the reasons that doesn't work. Yeah. To be fair, the Zonitras are like really good ships. I've never seen them in action, but I've heard stories. And I could understand why it doesn't work in high sec, but they're still really good ships. Um,
Warp drive active.
oh, excuse me. Let's see here. I think it's capital. It's a dread, yeah. And I don't think you can pull dreads in ISEC. I think that's really the only thing.
Warp drive active.
In a year, yeah. In a year, are a whole lot of skill injectors. Actually, skill injectors. Let's see. Oh, that wasn't the right thing. Commodity. Should have just typed it in.
Warp drive active.
There. Skill injectors are interesting because if you don't have 5 million skill points, you'll get 50,000 unallocated skill points from an injector. Between 5 million and 50 million, you get 400. But after that, after you get to 50 million, there's no point really in using it because at that point, the price isn't worth it. And they can get pricey. 800 some odd million, and this is just in this area. I'm not sure what jitter prices look like, but right, here we go.
Warp drive active.
Just hoping for the best. Oh, here's scan. 720. Okay, yeah. So I think the small skill injectors are about 100. I want to say 100 million. I might have that wrong. Okay, hey, this is a good start. Go find us a nice safe spot. Let's go.
Warp drive active.
Readjust like that.
Warp drive.
Drop the probes and the lights. And let's see what kind of juicy goodness we find tonight. Survey says. Okay, got a worm. Escape. There we go. I guess the marketer is down. Adam for you still down, or it's down too, rather. Oh, you. Oh, thank you. It didn't alert me. That's weird. But thank you for the bit. I really appreciate it. I saw it in my chat window at least. Okay, it's a wrong site. Oh, it's gone. Wow. Right. They're supposed to be alerting, so don't know why I didn't hear it. Huh. So odd. But thank you for the bit, Petra. I really appreciate it. There we go. Why didn't go before? Maybe it was just lagging. Huh. This will not scan. I may just move on from this one. Yeah, it's not scanning. Let's see what we can find. I thought they were more expensive. I'll have to drop it. Provisional Sancha Outpost.
drive active.
Oop. Okay. I should try this one to see where it gets me. And then I might just go from there. Medium size, that's going to be a C1. It's a K162. This is likely the low sec side of that C1. Okay. Let's go. Dixie? Jetta? I'm like right in the middle of everything. That's crazy. All right, we'll go to heck. We'll just head over there. Because I'm about as tired of these probes as I could possibly be. Just not... Well, it's 82 points, but it just doesn't feel like it's 82 points. Charge.
Drive active.
I swear to you guys, it does not feel like 82 points. That'll bring it up to 90, so let's do that. Just grab 16 of those.
Drive active.
Oh, even better. Or just right here. Next jump. A little bit higher priced, but I mean, that should be fine.
Drive active.
Let's see how many we get for. Okay. I'll probably just do that. Don't want to invest too much.
Docking permission. Docking.
Ah, cruise missiles are done. Good. Okay. There. Only because I don't care. Basic probes. There we go. Now we have to find our way back into sec. head over there.
Active. Web drive active.
Should let us scan at least a little bit quicker for everything. So if we're going anywhere, whether it's back through that C1 or anywhere else.
Web drive active.
Here we go. What do you hear? I'll take that.
Web drive active.
Here we go.
Web drive active.
Okay. Okay, we got one. Go ahead, expand just a bit. There. scan down. Excuse me. Get somewhere at least with this. Combat site. Actually, even yeah. That's actually pretty true. I mean, I see a lot of pilots that get drunk and they do really well in PvP. So, I mean, there might be truth to that. That one's not scanning down like I would have hoped. I'm not gonna try it. I'm just gonna keep going. Oops. Not gonna hit anything right there. May just go to that one connection. See what happens. Yeah, nothing is gonna really hit too.
Warp drive active.
They're going back and forth. Wonder. Ooh. Deadly unknown. No, let's keep going.
Warp drive active.
Didn't provide us with what we were after. So. And we don't need deadly unknown, that's for sure. Excuse me. It's been a long day for me. Okay. Probably still keep going. It looks like we've got people here.
Warp drive active.
They might just be doing missions or... Well, yeah, I guess missions, because this isn't a factional warfare spot or system. Take it.
Warp drive active. active.
Ah. There we go. We might actually be onto something here. He's lit up pretty high. So let's see. Yep. Good. Takes care of one of them. Turn on my... Yes. Okay. Not as bad as it could be. Combats. And yet another thing pop. Let's see what that is. Or if we can even see what that is. This one's... both kind of got the same... Okay, one got try that one. Actually, that was something that I wanted to check into as well. Anyways, got a nice little stockpile of items to redeem. Resistance probing. Let's there we go. Should kind of help us out a little bit, hopefully. Okay. All that was a data site. So okay.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, gave me 3 additional points. It's not too bad. Sure. That's not where to go.
Warp drive active.
Excuse me. Wow. Stay for me. I'm feeling like an old timer. Just like gets close to bedtime and like that's it for me. All right, let's see what we got here. Unknown, larger ships. Okay. C2. Let's hope. If so, that's actually going to be in a really good spot. X702, so I think it is a C2 from Losec. C3. C3 high sec. Okay. Or high sec static rather. Lots of SIGs to scan in here. This is great. This is really, really good stuff. I mean, not many have really come here.
Warp drive active.
So let's get ourselves set up with a bookmark. Perfect. Probe the area just to make sure. Looks good. I don't see anything but our bookmark.
Warp drive active.
Other than the fact that it's got a high sec and it's a C3, it's in a pretty good situation. It's in a pretty good state. Given how late it is, we might actually be fine. Gonna be okay. Okay. Ignore that result and let's get to the meat of it. So combat. Do that. Start by scanning the center here. gas site. We'll ignore that. This one got us a greater hit this time. Let's go here. I had to guess it's probably not going to come through. No, it did. Okay. Wormhole. But you can child with an IQ of 182 small New Zealand. Hey, Green, if you get hurt, they teleport to protect you. What? You just eat mayonnaise to speak. That is... It's pretty bad superpower. I would definitely not like to be the one that that has to do that. Actually, that brings up a good point, though. What superpower do you guys want to have? What do you wish that you could do aside from maybe change the subscription prices for EVE Online on the fly? Because that one's already been taken by a lot of other people, so we can't have that one. I don't think I'm gonna be able to scan this one. Like that? No, actually, it's. That's a very specific IQ, by the way, Vetro. Why did you choose 192? I feel like there's a story behind that one. 14. We can't do that one. I didn't do that right. Oh. Forgot to check the other axis. Yeah, just drag this down. Something in that. Oh, it did pop up pretty. Oh, okay. Wormhole. Makes sense. Okay. Stable. Go to the next one. There are so many signatures here. I hope we can find something that's useful for us. see what we can hit. Okay, that was a good hit. Okay. This might be something worthwhile. Let's see. Please be worthwhile. Nope. Another forgot. Ever in search of that elusive payout. No, Misa. Bad. Bad Misa. I know what you were thinking. Okay, there's a data site. It wouldn't provide us with much ISK, but push comes to shove. Uh-huh, sure. Sure you are. Yeah, that's right. I love that. I love that emote. That's great. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Unsecured. Okay, so we can't use that one either. Well, bummer. All right. Next. This one right here. Yeah, that'll work. Let's see what we can get with that. Ooh. See if that scan. I know I've said this before. If you guys have ever used a virtue set with a sister's probe launcher and sister's probes in a T2 covert ops frigate, you'll understand this is like night and day for me. Because it's so painful. It's so painful. But as an alpha, this is is what you got to do, right? This is a skill set you're granted. Oh gosh. Gonna make any Isk if they just keep being that. Keep in mind, guys, our entry hole was an X702 into a C3, which has a high sec static. That high sec static means that there's only one static connection. Any other wormholes we find are wandering. So the X702 we came into is a K162 on the wormhole side. That is considered a wandering hole for this particular system. So this system, so far as we can tell, has one static and two wandering connections. Three wandering connections. We have 3 wandering connections. That's the best. Scan that down. That way we have places to go to later. Because we still have roughly an hour. We will scan this next. Low class holes today are Swiss cheese. Hope y'all like Swiss. Promiscuous wormhole. Yes, it's a very promiscuous wormhole. Or maybe it's like a chicken sandwich with Swiss on it. Like, because who doesn't like, chicken sandwiches with Swiss cheese? That sounds really tasty right now. I'm getting kind of hungry. All right, data site. Here we go. Which, to be fair, with this having a high static connection, I don't know that I necessarily want to find anything in here to run. Because it might just be one big trap anyway. I mean, there may have been 1 or 2 times where I went ahead and took a relic site with a wormhole with a high sec static, and in my covert ops ship, and I got it blown up because someone was camping. Unsecured frontier receiver. We're gonna ignore that one too. So there's still one more that's close. Four. Okay. Excuse me. gas site. I may just start huffing gas, because as many gas sites as we've found, that might actually be more profitable right now. Oh, if only. That requires a skill book. Data site. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I figured this would give us better insight. It's pretty quiet. Unsecured. Okay. Can't use that one. Let's see if we can game the system a little bit. Let's see if we can maybe, possibly get ourselves content. Okay. Excuse me. One is... Okay. All right. Still scan these down, but I've got this sinking suspicion that we are running into a connection. Doesn't have what we're looking for. And if these don't scan down, I can't do anything either. guys mind, I'm gonna appreciate it. No. Okay. Hmm. I'm just gonna avoid scanning that last one. It's not proven to be fruitful at this point to continue. And I have tried most connections,
Warp drive
or most
active.
SIGs. So let's see where everything leads to. I even just see where the high sec goes. Go back to Jeddah and station training. That way, at least we make a little bit of risk. This one is almost gone. Just unknown.
Warp drive active.
N968. Unknown. Larger. High sec is a D845. That one's not bad. Let's see. We might actually poke in through that, but that one's almost closed. I don't know if I want to get caught there. Another N968. This one's actually got a good bit of life to it.
Warp drive active.
The last one's probably the high sec. Let's see where the high sec lands us at. That'll kind of let us choose whether or not we're going to go through the PDC connection or if we're just going to go straight back to high sec. There's the D845. This is Galente space. Hmm. And we're about 15-inch. Yeah, we're about 15 inches tall. So we'll just head through this way. That was a bit of a bust, so.
Active.
We'll hop through. I mean, we still did what we needed to do. We sold all of our previous findings. So that's not It's not terrible. Eye of Evil. Wormholes aren't that scary, Misa. Come on now, you're gonna scare away any potential recruits. Then I'm sure somebody in Poopy's gonna get mad at me. I just don't know who.
Warp drive active. Warp drive
Way. What it looked like. Okay. That's fair. In some weird way.
warp drive active.
Station. Symptoms. For propaganda. Oh, that sucks. Was it in high sec Vetro? Is that where you put it? Like all the other recruitment mobile depots that are out there.
Warp drive active.
Slander. Oh, okay.
Warp drive active.
Slander. Is that the system? Or is that just what? Oh, caps lock. Oh, your corporation, maybe. Bet this is you guys. No? Too small to be you guys. Another meme boat gone. Yeah. Animation of a corp.
Warp drive active.
That's fine. At least there's no there's not much in the way of legal stuff in EVE Online, right? You can get away with so much. So many different hundreds of things to do. No wonder it was popped. Oh, I didn't report on this, but interestingly enough, there was there was a corp that there was a high sec or low sec corp.
Active.
They were supposedly new bro friendly, and there was like 500 of them, and the whole thing folded because one of their CEOs or their CEO or one of their directors just like took all the money and ran and just left them for dead. That whole group is now in the process of joining into Brave Collective, like the members, and leaving the corp to, of course, die or fold or whatever. Um, so it sucks that the corp is dying because of that, but they were right there outside of Pure Blind, so Brave took them in, which was really cool. That was kind of an interesting little piece that ran across my hollow feed. I think it was just yesterday, actually. It was in the ping, and it completely slipped my mind till just now.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, it is happening quite a bit, Misa. To be honest, this Eve, like, people can just, it's like you trust people one day and even the next day viewpoints change. It is a game, so it's like it's not the same, I guess, weight put into building and whatnot.
Warp drive active.
$1 in Eve isn't the same as $1 in real life, that kind of thing. That would be my guess. Let's see. I can find something a little bit ahead.
Warp drive active.
Huh?
Warp drive active.
$1 in Eve is starting to be like $3 in real life. Yeah, Isk is. Yeah, you're right. It seems like Isk is getting to be a little bit more precious, but that's the way the CCP world works, I guess. I don't know. Great dude. Pan out. Let's try good dudes. There isn't really anything.
Warp drive active.
Well, grab their stuff and ask them to share. Shaking them aggressively. Yes, exactly. Probably not the best mindset, but that's probably exactly what we need to do. Rattle them to the bone. You guys are terrible.
Docking permission requested.
All
Docking
right.
request accepted.
Well, there's nothing on the Eve Market Deals app right now. Nothing to take advantage of, at least that's close. That, however, does not mean that all is lost. Let's see here. So one of the things that I'm gonna have us T1 Abyssal on. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, they really are. Um, Thank you, Trade a Kid. I appreciate the follow. Wow, that was hard to say. But I appreciate the follow regardless. um, so yeah, we successfully made it to Jeddah. Um, we made it. We went through Eve Market Deals, and that didn't have anything. Okay, sure, go for it. A level 4 escalation? Hmm. I actually don't know because I've never sold escalations. Um, hmm. I know in nullsec, the 10 of 10s would sell for about 100 mil. Level 4 would probably. I mean, you can ask around. I think it depends on where it's at, but
Today's forecast. Pirate activity seems high.
yeah.
Please fly
Well, the
safely
only thing, I mean, like,
station.
you normally get your level 4s, what, in low sec, right? Yeah. Um, yeah. 10s would sell for 100 mil. I've seen 5 of 10s that pop up in nullsec too. And some people will buy them for like, let's say 60. I would think a 4 would probably sell for like 20, 30 mil. I mean, if I'm just going by the, because you get them, what, like once every 10 missions, 10 to 12 missions, something like that. Or, no, sorry, combat site. Combat sites, not mission. I don't think so. Hmm. I mean, I would think it'd be worth at least 10 mil at minimum. Just because that's the site. Uh, it's still a site like, well, the kind of loot you'd get out of it too, or the effect. Yeah, I've only got experience with selling 10 to 10s in nullsec, and they usually have gone between 80 and 100 mil. depending. Um, and that's mostly because they have the ability to drop rare loot. So. But I mean, even still, yeah. Um, well, there are online in-game chats to go to. There.
Welcome to Vegeta Trading Hub. Please note there has been reports of scammers in the local
Selling
area.
escalations. There's apparently a guide online. It's a YouTube. All right, you win. You redeemed it. I'll give it to you.
Please be careful.
There. Does that work? We'll keep it like that until someone else renames it. um, it's beautiful. Um, hmm. um, Trade a Kid, do you have a corp that you're or an alliance that you're already a part of? No one knows for sure. Um,
Jitta Trade Hub is not responsible for monetary loss due to local chat scammers.
I guess I would see if somebody wants to buy it for 10 mil. I feel like that's not a bad price. I just don't know where to go other than Jita. Yeah. And I mean, selling escalations is a lot harder now too, because you have to make up a shared bookmark with permissions and or ACL permissions too, which makes it a little bit more difficult even. Yeah, I just don't know where online if there are any in-game channels for escalation selling. Can't think of whether they're sold inside Alliance. Yeah.
Jitar Trade Hub is not responsible for monetary loss due to local chat scams.
Mm.
Please
Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, there is Sugar, I think. Um, the the yeah, if it's a dead four of anything, um, here you go. That's fair.
Pilots, please be careful of the debris as you are undocking, and remember to turn your shield and armor plug.
Doesn't really give you the triggers, but at least gives you the breakdown of how the whole thing works. On that, I mean, aside from that, combat site hunting might actually be interesting to do. You could easily do that in, let's say, any kind of cruise in high sec. Mhm. That might actually be what we try next.
Pirate activity seems higher than usual. Please fly safe as you exit the station.
Yeah, that's fair. Myrmidons are Merms are really good. Really good. Um
pilots, please be careful of the debris as you are undocking, and remember to turn your shield and armor harness before exiting the station.
they're usually cute. Um
All carriers in the station do a thorough concourse, with
nice. Nice.
private buildings. This is one driver mentioned to me
Very good.
saying he was out
guess people have even done them in Australia.
Please take extra care during our recreation parks.
I grab this and I'll put this in here. Yeah.
Take extra care during our recreation parks.
Oh, there's a lot of things that we can't fly. Okay, that's out of the question.
Pilots, please be careful of the debris as you are in
Um,
and remember to turn your shield and armor harnesses before exiting the
shh, workbench stuff. Let's do. Oh, find. Yeah, dead light runner right here.
Today's forecast. Pirate activity seems higher than usually. Please fly safe.
Anything that can run
to
dead sight.
destination.
That's an home. Should be able to run. Sure. Maybe.
Pilots, please be careful of the debris as you are undocking, and remember to turn your shield and armor harness on before exiting the station.
Interesting. C2 solo omen. I wonder if that would be worth it. I'm gonna grab this because that's actually something else that was originally what I was thinking. Actually, is that perhaps maybe what we should do, or well, one of the things that I do want to do regardless is get us started into
Please take extra care during our renovation.
into doing wormhole ratting. I mean, on Mountain 2, it's a good idea to kidnap to another planet. Human would consider this. That's great. I mean, that's bad. I'm not sure. I like that. But yeah, one thing that I do want to consider for us to do is something like a C2 or some kind of a ratting fit. I actually have a Mauler that I need to double check and test. This one in particular came off the workbench from, it's about a year old. So I need to fit this into PIFA and actually see if it, where's PIFA? There it is. See if it's actually still while. And even still, we'd have to actually have a wormhole to go into on top of literally everything else. So I know you guys can't see this because I've actually got my PIFA opened and you guys can't see that window. How things are set up at the moment. Hmm. Excuse me. Doesn't seem like it would be strong enough for a C2, from what I know. Maybe if these weren't Tech 1. Then maybe, because then I could change it into gleam rather than multi-frequency. It doesn't really do me much good for the tracking.
Please be careful of the debris as you are
And
and
even still, capacitor doesn't last as long as I would
exiting
need
the
it to. So the drones make it worth it. So maybe I could do some tweaking, but find out if it's actually viable. Okay. It'll be something that I probably look into a little bit more closely in the future. I don't have it on this side, so I can't share it. I don't think I do. Yeah, no, I don't have it on this side. I'd need to grab it from my alt side. But nonetheless, there is a Mahler fit that I do know that works okay on a C2, doing some of the sites. It doesn't do the Forgottens and the Unsecured, the ones you have to scan down, but it does do pretty much everything else. But they have recently made changes, so I'm not sure if it still does them. I'd have to test it, and that's gonna be the hard part. This might be worthwhile to try, though. I mean, it's not that much in the way of Isk, and even if it doesn't do a C2, it looks like it's actually got the capability of handling a C1 pretty well. Which a C1 wormhole site will net you around 7 to 10 mil, give or take. And you're still doing about 500 DPS, based on what Pyfo was telling me. There's enough resistance profile to not have to worry too much. I'd want to change up probably these. No matter what you do, the capacitor's still not going to be working. Not properly. So there are changes that have to be made. Like, you don't really need this when you're ratting, especially in a wormhole, because you're mostly just going to be circling your MTU anyways. So it's not really needed. You could probably do just fine without the power diagnostic. I mean, you're over here depleting in 4 minutes, so if you don't get it done, unless you're pulsing things, it's just gonna eat you alive. Um, in fact, these might be better equipped to, like, say, get rid of one of these and replace something like a nanobot accelerator or something that increases your overall, either your rep speed or the amount that you rep. And then it would be a little bit more expensive, but like you could do. Okay, that's why they included that. But that's easily fixed with, say, um, changing out that or compact, and then you're done. I'm not sure why they would have done. I mean, this is, like I said, this is an older fit anyways. You don't even need that, so you could just fit two of those, see where that goes.
Shipyard Trade Hub is not
We'll fit
responsible
Orca
for
out
monitoring
at 7
losses due
mil.
to local chat scams.
It could have been, yeah. But maybe you could flip it, right? That's the big thing. Or hold on to it, and maybe you could sell it for like 2 bill, depending upon where things go. But yeah, if you can't fly it, I mean, at least for right now. Actual router 2. Yep, and there we go. That's already better. Oh, okay. So, see, and that's stable right there. That's before we do anything else, like adding in another multi-spec membrane. Boop. Done. 43 mil. So the only other thing would be these guns. Like 200 mil. Oh! Yeah, okay. Yeah, 200 mil. That's not gonna work out. See what that does. Okay, so it's just barely. Okay, it's a little bit more than just barely over, but. Oh. Hmm. I'm also missing skill. You'd probably want those tech tubes, but
Please note sleeping in public places not allowed. Personal floor found in sleeping in public area will be treated leniently.
the at a level 5. Okay, that's what
Pilots,
I thought.
please be careful of the debris as you are undocking, and remember to turn
Or heavy modulated
shields
1.
and armor hardeners on before exiting the station.
Okay. So yeah, that actually kind of gets you. That's still stable no matter what, which is what you want. You want stability. And there's a bit of a buffer there. Um it's only 1.2 gigajoules, so you wouldn't last long if something decided to nuke you.
Pilots,
Hmm.
please be careful of the debris as you are undocking, and remember to turn your shields and armor hardeners on before targeting the station.
But it's definitely something that I'd be willing to try. At 43 million, it's not too bad. If nothing else, this could easily work as a green sight runner in high sec. I mean, it's got the HP, it's got the DPS for it, so it's actually not too bad overall. Um, we're gonna save this one. Concept mod. We'll save it. That way, we at least don't lose the edits.
Please take extra care during our renovation works.
If I didn't bring over my Mauler, I wonder.
Pilots, please be careful of the debris as you are undocking, and remember to turn your shields and armor hardeners on before exiting the station.
I based my Mauler fit off of someone else's fit.
Welcome to Cheetah Trading Hub. Please note there has been reports of scammers in
And
the
it
local area.
was really good. Uh, Although there's one for potato salad, apparently. That's cool. So yeah, I'll have to bring that over so you guys can see. For now, we'll just have to ride out the storm of EVE Online in the pimp bag. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh. As I said, something for all of you to think about. Obviously, this channel is very much geared towards what you can do as an alpha or low skill, low SP player to play and have fun with CCP's changes coming up. That may become more of a viable thing for you to do, to think about, or not. I don't know. But in the interim, should things go awry, here at Eclipsed Frontiers and on my channel here, my personal channel, we want to make sure that we're always adapting, we're always expanding. So I'm all, like I said in the beginning, I'm all ears for additional content, space related, sci-fi related, that you guys might want to see on stream. Anything that tickles your fancy, I'm cool with, looking into. So yeah, holler. We'll see what we can do. Until then, I'm gonna go ahead and actually call it here. Our ship's power grid is fully charged again. We are ready to re-enter warp. We are ready to close it down. So from here on out, if you liked, well, first of all, big thank you, and then I really appreciate it to everyone who has supported me and liked me and followed me and all the good stuff like that. If you guys like my content, if you like what you see here, don't forget I'm also on possibly your favorite social. Check out my link tree and see if I'm there. I know I haven't posted a lot of content. There's been a lot of real life going on lately. I'm hoping to get back into it. I have started doing some recordings, mostly some FTL, faster than light stuff. Nothing amazing, nothing yet that I can put up there, but it's gonna come for sure. Also I got some other things planned as far as like YouTube content and such goes, that is still in the work. So from there, I will see you all later. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you in the verse. Fare thee well.
Thank you.